Steve Norton. Hi.
Hi,
Steve,
Steve.
hi. Nice to meet you.
The charmingly named Screenfish.
There we are. Yes, that at screenfish.net. And I always tell people, I'm like, oh, you did net. Is that because of the fish? I said, no, it's
Yeah.
because
Oh, I didn't even
was unavailable.
get that.
And then we didn't get it until after. We're like, oh, I guess we kind of did lean into that, didn't we?
You mean someone else had screenfish.com?
Yes. It's like a tech company. They I was like, I think they make steel or something. And I'm like,
Of course.
Of course.
really? Okay. Anyway, at least like screens, like we make sense.
Yeah.
Unless they make screens. Maybe that's what they make.
Maybe they do.
Screen doors.
Anything's possible.
But speaking of screen doors, it's lovely outside here in Canada.
Yes.
As we
Yes,
prep
it
for
is. It's
Canada Film
gorgeous.
Day.
Cool
Yes.
segue.
Yeah, except it won't be on the day. It will be more Canadian weather.
It's true. Well,
It's good.
April's like that. April's a nightmare. But
Yeah, it's nuts. The cruelest month, they say.
To just parenthetically digress for a second, in 2017, we had the brilliant idea of doing a drive-in in Ottawa as one of the hundreds of events, a drive-in in Ottawa on the side of the Aviation Museum.
And it was really cool. They had
it was
all these
great.
we had this great lighting company who do all the lights on Parliament Hill. It was really
We were
fancy.
going to show the rocket, and the
We
night
did.
we did show the rocket, but not only was Ottawa in the playoffs that night,
No, but we had a crowd.
but there was a
Okay.
terrible blizzard.
oh no.
But people turned up in their cars with their kids, and it was just a little harder than usual. That's
Right.
Canada.
I'm really excited about Canada Film Day. First of all, congratulations on the 10th anniversary.
Thank you very much. We weren't sure we'd ever reach this point. So,
Well, it's such a cool idea, and I mean, obviously, growing up in Toronto area, Canadian film has not been something that's been well highlighted. It's not
You
been
think?
well highlighted over the years.
no, growing up anywhere in Canada it hasn't been. We just don't have the mega bucks to blast it out at you everywhere you turn, saying John Wick's is coming, or to make a $300-400 million movie.
It's a vast machine, and what we spend in the country, if you added up the cost of every Canadian production in the course of a year, it's the promotion budget for one Hollywood blockbuster.
Which doesn't mean it's low quality.
No, it just means they get to talk louder.
Yeah. It's like if somebody handcrafts a chair, that doesn't necessarily mean it might actually be a way better chair than the one that comes out of a giant machine.
Well, absolutely. Selling selling something that you make out of your home is different than if you can list it on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
To go on about that, we, as I think we also show high school students Canadian film across the country, and then we talk to them about it, and we ask them in there, and they send us pieces of paper that they write on. What did you notice? Do you think anything was different? And we get a lot of comments around, I think Canadian films spend more time on the script. It's like,
which isn't actually true, because we don't have that kind of budget to spend forever. But it's that the idea that the script makes sense to them, and that it's about something they can understand,
or that it's about people, or that it's not as much CGI. Like they actually note these things,
and that it's more real. Canadian films seem more real.
I love that you said that. It's interesting because I've seen films, and I won't name names, but I've seen films that are similar in plot structure to an American film, but they seem to speak differently. Even if they have the same subject matter, they speak differently. And I'm wondering for you both, what is different? How do you define the Canadian voice? What makes our films unique?
It's us. I mean, what makes you unique? What makes him unique? What makes me unique? It's about us. It's about our neighbors. It's about our streets. It's about our weather. It's about our problems. It's about our victories. It's about us.
And because we don't have a huge machine at the middle of it kicking out this product, it does mean it's handmade across the country, region by region, community by community. There are so many wonderful Canadian movies that are about a place. You know, we're celebrating one of them this year with the passing of Gordon Pinsent, John and the Misses, which is just so much about like it's centrally about place.
It's about Newfoundland.
And it's so moving and lovely.
It's a beautiful film, and it's not very well known. So we're really happy to have this opportunity to get it out there. It was the film that he worked the longest on in his life.
Wrote, directed, starred.
It's a beautiful film. If you haven't seen it, which I suspect you haven't, because a lot of people haven't.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's really beautiful.
On National Canadian Film Day, it will be streaming free for all Canadians on canfilmday.ca. You can just watch it, or you can come downtown in Toronto and watch it.
Yeah, see, this was one of the things I wanted to ask you, but I want to ask you about Gordon and the celebrations of Gordon and Jeff, but also making it a national celebration, because this is not just Canadian Film Day locally. You've worked hard to make this a nationwide event. So,
and it is.
Can you talk a little bit about that? How have you been able to?
Sure. Yeah, like first of all, start with saying there really aren't very many nationwide events in Canada. You know, when we play for the Olympic gold in hockey, that's kind of one. And when Gord Downey, when Tragically Hip did their last concert, that was very rare. So it's not something that's done much, and we just kind of made it up. But we work very hard at getting what we have now. It's going to be approaching 1,500 screenings across the country.
And that includes like all the, the film festivals and
independent cinemas.
And also it includes schools, it includes retirement homes, it includes community centers, it's art galleries, it's
from libraries to Legion Hall.
Yeah, like it's the military, it's everybody. There's no one not included in this umbrella. Movies are literally for everyone. And every ethnicity, every region, every gender, like movies are for us all. And there aren't a lot of things we can say that about.
And speaking of handmade, one of the reasons we think that it has taken the way it has is because we put it, first of all, because Canadians do want to see their stories fundamentally, but we put a certain amount of effort into making sure that the movies we're offering are right for their community. If it's a library, it's different from if it's a Legion Hall. If it's a military base, different from it's a retirement home. So that's how you get hundreds of partners coming back year after year, because they have good experiences.
Again, it's going back to the theme of this interview. It's handmade.
It's handmade.
We have a whole team of folks who are just reaching out to all those partners and emailing with them, talking with them on the phone, helping them decide what films they want, helping them get the films. So helping them get a guest. Like many of these screenings have a guest, from our major filmmakers down to the local botanist who can talk about the theme of the film.
Or some of the films have pre-recorded interviews or commentary that just make it a little more special. For example, you were talking about Canadian films that might be similar in theme to American films, but are very different. I think a great example of that is something like Don McKellar's Last Night, which this year is the 25th anniversary.
Yes.
So Don is not available. He often helps us out on Cannes Film Day, but he's in
Bangkok.
He's in Bangkok shooting a series, but he sent a greeting for that screening to accompany it. So it makes it a little bit more special.
Yeah.
I know we're running low on time. I'm so excited about this event, but what I didn't realize, and I was just going over the website, is that you can host your own event on that day. Is that
absolutely you can?
Work? How does that work?
And you've got a party kit, a huge party kit that you can download all kinds of fun things to do.
Ridiculous fun, like goofy fun.
Yeah. From quizzes to
Canadian
popcorn.
Celebrities on sticks that you can take pictures of, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so you definitely can.
And we get photographs from people's events after the fact, like tons of wonderful photographs of kooky fun that they've had. And we haven't mentioned that there are 110 screenings around the world in 45 countries.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So it's become a full global event in many ways.
That's International Canadian Film Day.
Yeah.
We have to change the name. You touched on the Jeff Barnaby tribute, which we haven't mentioned, which is very important. We've got, I think, 7 or 8 screenings across the country, and that will also be, Blood Quantum will also be available. CBC has made it available ad-free on GEM through, and you can come to our website and just click on. We've got tributes to Jeff. We've got a bunch of stuff up there about Jeff.
And we're live streaming a special Q&A after the Toronto screening with Elmaya Tailfeathers, the star and the award-winning filmmaker, interviewed by Jason Ryle, who was the longtime director of Imaginative Festival. And that'll come after the Toronto screening, but it'll be live streamed on our YouTube channel for anyone to watch. So there's a lot going on in honor of Jeff.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on, like all across the country, live. Also, we can't neglect to mention almost all of the broadcast and streaming partners are programming Canadian content on that day. So if you have a television, if you have a computer, if you have a phone, you can watch a Canadian film on National Canadian Film Day. We've tried to make it available to literally every person.
And it's interesting to note that all of the broadcasters actually cooperate.
Yeah.
And
it's great.
A rare thing. Like CBC Gem as an example, it's like we want to honor Jeff. Can you make a special thing so that anybody can just go to Gem and watch it commercial free? And they did that.
Wow, that is really
Hollywood Suite runs like 24-hour programming.
They have
Canadian film programming. It's really,
don't start mentioning because we'll leave out.
Then
because
we get in trouble.
Everybody does something.
Yeah.
Like everybody does quite a bit of something. They send us their list of their programming for the day, and we try to get it up.
Wow, that is phenomenal. Honestly, I remember the first one, and I remember thinking, hey, that's a great idea. But here we are 10 years later, and it sounds like you're reaching more people than ever.
We're estimated attendance will approach 70,000 Canadian
Live.
And then more than 2 million.
More than 2 million broadcast.
Honestly, that's amazing. Jack, Sharon, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you, Steve.
Screenfish.
.net.
Screenfish.net. Canfilmday.ca.
Take care.
Take care. Have a great day.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye.